my channel. In today's segment, I'm going to show you how to replace a transmission filter in a Hino. If you're not a subscriber, just hit that button, become a subscriber right away. So let's get started. This transmission has a reusable gasket, but what I'm going to do here, and I notice how there's some activity going on here, so I went ahead and ordered the replacement gasket. And since I'm going to pull the pan down, and what I see here, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the gasket. But normally, if you do not see this, you can just clean your gasket and reuse your gasket. I'm going to use a 15 millimeter for the drain plug, and I'm going to use a 13 millimeter for all of the other bolts for the transmission pan. Well, while the transmission fluid is draining, I'm going to remove the oil filter, and sometimes you can remove them with your hand. In this case, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to get an oil filter wrench. And we'll screw that right on down. I want to point out, it is very important on these filters that you have a magnet on top of it. And if you do not have a magnet, contact your local Hino dealer and purchase one right away. But it's very important. So I want to clean up this magnet. But in the meantime, I'm going to take off this transmission pan. Just bring it straight out. So as you can see, the filter came down with it, and this is how much fluid is actually still remains in the pan. We're going to clean the magnet. That's our filter. And like I said, this gasket is reusable. I have a new gasket, so I'm not even going to bother cleaning this up. I'm just going to toss this to the side. But again, you can definitely use those gaskets over and over. We're going to clean our transmission pan. And there's a magnet right inside here for the pan. Want to make sure you clean that. Have everything all cleaned up. And this is our new gasket. And you can see the part number and the price range. Fits like a glove. This is our new filter. And that's the part number. Straight from Allison. Well, straight from Allison to our Hino dealer to me. And it looks exactly like the one that came off of it. And we're just gonna pop it right up back in the transmission. And here is the spin-on transmission filter. That's the part number. And what we're gonna do with the magnet here, we're just going to go ahead and put the magnet back in place. And again, make sure you have this magnet. If you do not have a magnet, if someone had lost one before you got to it, make sure you order one from the dealer. That's very important. All right, we're gonna put all this back in place. And we're gonna take time to just wipe along the edge of the transmission base. Just remove whatever transmission fluid remaining. So we're just gonna stick it back in place. Just kind of screw it and it'll seal itself. It'll hold right in place. Now what I want to do is torque it down to 15 to 20 pounds. I prefer 15 pounds. I'm just going to add transmission fluid to the external filter. And you don't have to do this, it's just something that I like to do. Well, I like to put fluid around the seal. It makes it easy to actually remove it, and it helps it to seal. I'm just going to screw that back up. We have everything in place, and I'm going to put transmission fluid back in. We're going to go over to the passenger side of the vehicle. Here's your dipstick. We're going to put our funnel inside the dipstick tube, and that's where we're going to put our transmission fluid. Now I'm going to put my dipstick back in place and crank the vehicle and check the transmission fluid. I'm going to start the vehicle. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in every gear and then put it back in park, and I'm going to recheck my transmission fluid with the vehicle running. Check the transmission fluid. We want to make sure we have no leaks. Everything looks good. Guys, I want to point out one thing about these transmissions. Now, in case you happen to notice that you actually have a leak on the transmission and it's not coming from the pan, these bolts have the tendency, they need to be retorqued. So you need to go back and make sure they tighten, because you can have transmission fluid dripping out of here, or this plate right here, you can have transmission fluid just dripping out of that. So I have just took time to actually wipe that, but it had transmission fluid all on the bottom of it. And I wish I would have thought about that before I record this. But you need to go back, and I torqued these down to 25 foot-pounds, and they were loose. They were definitely loose. So that's something you want to look out for. And I had to torque all of them. And these two right here was definitely loose. They were the worst. And I noticed on the back side here that these two, they were definitely loose. So I have them tightened, and that can save you a lot of headache and save you some transmission fluid and maybe save you a transmission. Well, that's all you have to do to change the transmission filter in your Hino. If you go step by step with this video, you cannot go wrong. I want to thank you for watching, and do not forget to hit the notification bell to let you know when I have a video that actually comes out. Do not forget to subscribe as well. Take care, and God bless.